This week, Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 completes its test flight, Gamestop is sued over deceptive used game sales, and HTC and Sprint reveal the new Android smartphone, the Evo 4G. It's March 31st, and this is Logic News. Virgin Galactic's suborbital aircraft finished its test flight over Mojave, California. The test was a captive carry flight where the craft remained attached to the mothership. You heard me? Mothership! It's 2010 and we have motherships. The Galactic airline will open commercially late next year. Why am I even getting excited about this? We all know only millionaires will be able to afford it. And with my luck, by the time the prices get reasonable, I bet my flight will be the one that gets hijacked by Al-Qaeda and they'll crash us into Venus. Either that or they'll seat me between two crying babies and their mom in zero gravity. I can hardly wait! Meanwhile, this week GameStop was sued by an angry customer who bought a used copy of Dragon Age Origins but wasn't allowed to download the additional character and quest content, which is only permitted to customers who bought brand new copies. When he tried to return the game, the GameStop store manager said he could not because the game had passed the 7-day return window. I bought my used copy of Dragon Age Origins off of eBay. It used to belong to Vince Neil, the lead singer of Motley Crue. It came with a vial of his blood, so I can clone him. Anyway, my point is, you get what you pay for.
That's just the way it is. That's life, you know?
Sprint teamed up with HTC to introduce the Evo 4G Android smartphone. Codenamed Supersonic, the smartphone features a 4.3-inch WVGA screen with a resolution of 800 by 480, the 1 GHz Snapdragon CPU, the same one that's found in the Google's Nexus 1, an 8-megapixel camera, and it runs Android 2.1 with a modified user interface. All of a sudden, the Nexus 1 seems like that lonely nerd in high school, the one that ate lunch all by herself in the library, while the Evo 4G is more like the twin sister that got out and had a little bit more fun. Alright, no more shitty analogies. I have some gaming news for you this week. Heavy Rain Chronicles: The Taxidermist is the first episode of downloadable content for the series. For those of you familiar with the game, this episode focuses on the character Madison and all of her assets. Eurogamer slammed this episode for its misogynistic overtones.
Come on, don't fight it. It won't take very long.
But if you want it, this episode is bundled with the special edition version of Heavy Rain. Then we have Grand Theft Auto 4: The Lost and Damned, which is due to be released yesterday, March 30th, for the PS3. They interviewed the VP of Product and Development at Rockstar Games, and he said the downloadable episodic content is kind of an experiment. And in this episode, you are Johnny Kelbitz, a member of Liberty City's biker gang, The Lost. March 30th is also the release date for a number of new Blu-ray titles. Be sure to catch Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law bringing life to the literary classic in Sherlock Holmes. There's also the 2009 film An Education, a coming-of-age story about a teenage girl in 1960s suburban London and her relationship with a guy nearly twice her age. Also coming to Blu-ray is the John Woo flick The Killer, starring Chow Yun-fat and Danny Lee, the story of an assassin's last mission before quitting for good. Yeah, we all know how that goes. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I would still expect some pigeons flying in slow motion. New products launching this week are the all-new models of the Dell Vostro family, a series of ultra-thin laptops starting at $669. There are the 14-inch, 15.6-inch, and 17.3-inch versions which share similar upgradable features. You can get them in silver, red, and bronze. Each one comes in at about 4 pounds, running Intel's Core i3 or i5 processor, up to 8 GB of DDR3 memory, and NVIDIA GeForce 310M 512MB discrete graphics card, all preloaded with the new Windows 7 OS. And this week we have a spicy new rumor floating around. Hardcore HP fans combed a support document to find mention of an NV14 and 17, as well as a Pavilion DM4, which SlashGear describes as a possible 14-inch machine with integrated optical drive, switchable graphics, and a choice of Intel or AMD processors. We will keep you posted on all the latest developments. Now it's time for this week's trivia question. Last week, technically 2 weeks ago, I asked why there's no cure for the common cold. The lamest question ever, but the best and only answer came from IBMXX from YouTube, who informs us that The common cold is viral, not bacterial. I'm paraphrasing now. There have been drugs developed to stop bacterial infection, but so far there hasn't been a cure. So there, interestingly enough, this week's trivia comes from one of our other viewers from the March 10th news show. The Guitar Freak asks, what is the heaviest computer on Earth? This is awesome. We can fire our writers now. And now, my little old news show has come to an end. Be sure to catch me next week for more industry news and new product releases, and check our website logicbuy.com where you can pick up some of your favorite tech gadgets for cheap. And of course, there's always deal talk. This is Natalie, signing off.